Hello. What a gorgeous, gorgeous day. It's a joy to be with you here. I wanted to talk today about our hearts. We're doing a lot of pondering about how to have a confident heart and how to keep our hearts open to the Lord, open to one another. And this is a tricky and sticky issue. There are many things from childhood that mess with us, that get us focused on the wrong ways to seek affection, the wrong ways to open our hearts. We are open to dangerous people and they hurt us, they mistreat us. But God has a way for us to be able to live with open hearts, but His protection. It's that funny, it's almost a mysterious way of God that we can remain soft and tender and allow Him to be the guard of our hearts. It doesn't work very well when we try to guard our hearts ourselves. It tends to create in us a hard-heartedness, a stiff-neckedness. God describes a lot of that through the Bible, of just what a desperate condition it is when our hearts become hard. But I know for myself, a lot of the ways that I have protected myself through my life have been to harden my heart. But God has a different way. In Proverbs 4:23, He says, "Keep and guard your heart with all vigilance, and above all that you guard, for out of it flow the springs of life." Our heart is the place that we think of as our desires coming from, our longings, our passions. And God tells us that out of these passions, out of these desires, flow the springs of life. So if these springs are polluted or muddied, what's going to flow out of us is not going to be good. And so we want springs that are pure and fresh and life-giving. One of my favorite teachers, Jack Frost, taught me about that pain seeks pleasure. And when we don't take our pain to God, we try to manage our pain ourselves, then we tend to seek counterfeit affections. Because God put His DNA in us. He created us to want to be romanced by Him. He created in us a desire for intimacy. But when we try to manage that ourselves, when we use intimacy as a way to compensate for pain, then we can get ourselves into some pretty tight spots. I know the times of deepest sadness in my own life have been times where I have sought out counterfeit affections, trying to soothe some pain that I'm unwilling to take to the Lord. But the Lord has graciously taught me through my own, seeking my own healing, and also walking other women through their healing, ways to open my heart to Him, ways to guard my heart. And as I've grown older, I've learned the symptoms of when I'm not guarding my heart. I start to get harsh and hard. I'm reactive. I'm 0 to 60 in half a second. And everyone starts to walk on eggshells around me. It's not pretty. So I've learned that these are not times when I need to work harder to try to save myself. I need to just fling myself on God. And one of the main ways that I do that is spending time in His Word, because that nourishes me with truth. I'm not going to find this truth anywhere else in this life. The second way is by praying with Him together, especially with trusted facilitators who understand how to help me to connect with the Lord, to hear His voice, how to help Him replace those lies that I've believed with truth. And in these ways, I'm able to guard my heart, to keep it with diligence. And I'm able to not compensate with counterfeit affections for the pain that I feel, but to open it up to the Lord and allow Him to come in and heal it and soothe it and actually change things. So I pray that as you meditate on this verse, that the Lord will give you insight into ways that you can guard and just give you an awareness of what's going on in your heart, so you don't go for days or weeks or months with fractiousness and frustrations and anger or despair or hopelessness, but that you can take those to Him, open your heart to Him. He's safe, He's trustworthy, He's good, and He wants to heal you. He wants to meet you where you are. Bless you.